Yep. Need to step away from Twitter before I waste my rage over there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey of the Morning. I am your COVID-stricken host, Ranting Monkey. Hope you guys are well. I had what I call a little bit of a relapse yesterday. Just feeling horrible. My throat is on fire. But we're gonna do this because I am pissed off. I am so sick and tired of fucking lies and the media and the push for this shit and people getting mad about shit that they don't even fucking know. Oh, I'm so irritated. So fucking irritated. My friend Jack, you don't irritate me. How are you tonight?
I was gonna say, oh shit. I didn't know I was that late. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm angry.
There's a lot to be angry about today.
There's this first story. Why does my volume keep doing that? Hang on a second. I'm trying to fix my volume. It keeps jumping from 6 to 100, and I don't want to hear you that loud. There we go.
Don't you?
No, really don't. No offense, dude. You have a nice voice, but I like my eardrums.
Eardrums. What are you doing with those?
How you been, my friend?
Same old bullshit, different day. My uncle died.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah, last one on that side of the family. So all my dad's siblings are now officially dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he took it kind of rough. They were just starting to get along. Because the dude was 95, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't think you'd talk to me." So they started chatting, and Dad had him identify some people from old photographs, and they'd exchange phone calls. And then he said, "I haven't heard from my brother in a while." And then we get a call from one of his daughters saying that he up and died.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah. Ironically, my dad also was one of the first people on the scene when my cousin, who was that uncle's daughter, killed herself with a shotgun.
Wow.
Yeah, and then a year later, her son committed suicide the same way.
That is rough, man.
Yeah, so, it was weird. I knew the guy, but I didn't really know him because that side of the family wasn't super close, but it was pretty hard on my dad, so...
I imagine.
But
at least they got some reunification there at the end, though.
Yeah. Well, the age difference was a big thing because there was
like a decade off.
Yeah, and there was a lot of family drama because basically there were two tiers of family. My grandparents had moved across states, and 3 of the kids out of the 5 were from the old state, and the other 2 were born in Ohio. So it kind of created this weird rift. Plus, there were several years in between the first 3 and the last 2. So it's been really weird, and it's been kind of hard on my dad because my brother just dying a year and a half ago, and then we lost another family member, my aunt, previously last year, and then now my uncle. So that's been a bit of a rough go for him.
Damn. Yeah, that's well, my anger's gone.
Oh, well, it's replaced with sadness now.
Yeah.
But he's getting healthier and he's able to get around a lot better on his own, and I had to take him down for some blood work, and the doctor got him in right away, whatever, and that's right after he found out. So I was like, man, I gotta take you to a doctor now.
Right.
That sucks.
Damn, man. Well, welcome to the show.
Yeah, that's what I've been coping with. I don't know about you, but how's the coof treating you?
Rough day for that. Rough day. As I told the audience at the beginning, my throat is on fire, but I'll live. So none worth talking about.
I had a girlfriend that said that once.
Are you dating Kamala?
No, there's plenty of room in that hallway.
I just told somebody to Kamala me because I was telling them to blow me, and I hope it came through the way that I meant it. That's what they get for sticking up for that horrible piece of shit. No, we're gonna get angry here, Jack. Don't worry, the anger will come back because this case pisses me off. Have you been paying attention to the case of Kate Cox down there in Texas, where they're saying they wouldn't let her have an abortion?
I only cursory glanced at it. It looked like there was some shady bullshit going on there. So,
yeah, shady bullshit's one way to say it. I had an idea because I've read several stories about this, right?
okay.
Every one of them has been wrong. Literally every one of them. And I was like, you know what? Instead of reading one of those that I've already read, let's grab the one from CNN that they put up yesterday because it was the first one that came up when I searched for it. Like, let's just grab the CNN one and we'll read it and see how they present it. And then I'll tell you guys the truth of what's happened. How's that sound? Okay. Oh, wait. Before we do that, Jack, will you talk to the audience for just one moment?
What's up, audience? Have you hit the like button? Massaged it like a sensual lover? Yes, evil one. Squirrels are evil bastards. Sometimes they steal your underwear, sometimes just the left sock. Thanks for the well wishes, guys. I appreciate that. Sorry, comrade. That sucks. It took half my foot.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
All right. I can hear you just fine. That's awesome. Oh, dude. Damn, that sucks.
What?
Nothing. I was just reading chat. So here's how CNN presents this story. Here's what we know about a Texas woman's battle for an abortion. Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, battle. It's a war, yo.
In one of the most high-profile abortion cases since the fall of Roe v. Wade, a Texas woman has been battling the state to terminate her high-risk pregnancy, a legal dispute that could have ripple effects for as many as the Texas law, one of the strictest in the country, is tested.
Oh, no, tested.
Kate Cox, a 31-year-old mother of two, filed a lawsuit last week to end her pregnancy. She and her doctor say threatened her life and future fertility. Bullshit. Sorry. Had a little truth stuck in my throat there.
No, that's dangerous, man. You gotta be careful with that shit.
The case triggered a tense legal battle with the eyes of the country watching as the news lies to them constantly.
The eyes of the country. How many people have heard about this fucking thing?
Everybody. This is a huge thing right now. The Texas Supreme Court ruled against her on Monday after she left the state to pursue the procedure. Yes, but not with what you've... this is such bullshit. We have been lied to in 2 paragraphs. You would not know the real story of this just by what we've heard so far. The lawsuit is believed to be one of the first attempts in the country by someone seeking a court-ordered abortion since the Supreme Court last year overturned Roe v. Wade, according to the New York Times, who are also full of shit. The 1973 U.S. Supreme Court ruling established a constitutional right to abortion before fetal viability. No, they didn't. They told everybody there was a constitutional right. They didn't establish anything. They misread the law and bent it to... We've been over that part, though. Yeah. Here's what to know so far about Cox and what her case reveals. Huh.
She loves the Cox.
Apparently she does. Cox's name came into the public sphere when she filed a lawsuit against the state of Texas on December 5th, asking the court to declare she has a right to terminate her pregnancy. Cox was 20 weeks pregnant when she sued. Her fetus has been diagnosed with a rare and deadly genetic condition called trisomy 18. Trisomy, I'm not sure which way to say that. For the record, before we go any further, this thing sounds horrible. I could not... Well, okay, let me put it this way. I did not look deeply into how many pregnancies where this is found actually make it to term, but it's not many. The kids who are born with this, there's several different variations of it, from partial to what they call full. This one was full. Kids who are born with full trisomy 18, only 10% of them live past the first year.
Oh, damn. So don't get the tricycle 13.
Yes, it's a horrible it's a thing where an extra chromosome is in there.
Ugh.
And it just fucks with them. I'm trying to do what's best for my baby daughter and myself and my family, but we are suffering because of the laws in Texas, Cox wrote in an op-ed for the Dallas Morning News about her abortion fight. I do not want my baby to arrive in this world only to watch her suffer. I need to end my pregnancy now so I have the best chance for my health, for parenting my children, and for a future pregnancy. Remember that part, because that's a lie. Trisomy 18, sometimes called Edwards syndrome, is a rare chromosomal condition that can cause heart defects and other organ abnormalities. Almost all pregnancies end in miscarriage or stillbirth. According to the Cleveland Clinic, of the babies who do survive full term, no more than 10% survive past their first birthday. The clinic says, hey, I just told you all that. See, I told you I've been reading. The lawsuit states that Cox has been to 3 different emergency rooms over the past month due to severe cramping and unidentified fluid leaks. You would think they could check what that fluid is and find out.
You'd think that, yeah, it's what, does fluid just appear around her? Like
it's tranny fluid. I've read that line in many different things because this is something her lawyer has said.
Get your valves checked.
Yeah. Oh shit. Real quick, I have a couple of donations before we go on. Stubber, thank you. Also, I think your friend, Mr. Beast, he meant BX Beast Boy. Was it? He did a video on Tom McDonald. I'll have to check it out. I know he's a fan of Tom. And thank you, Shiograth. Speaking of sums, I don't know what that was supposed to be. But he says, sorry about Brittany and Abby. We'll talk about that later if I remember to. And I forgot to even open up
as in chromosomes. Somes.
Somes like chromosomes. I got you. I forgot to even open up my Streamlabs, dude. That's how annoyed I was getting ready to do this show.
Yeah, you forgot about your money. That's I'm a little surprised by that and slightly appalled. But Thank you, Evolved Potato. Which life of hers was at risk? Her social one? Does it affect her fertility by making her men steer clear of her because she has a kid? Well, that does seem to be one of the reasons for abortion these days, doesn't it?
Also, while we were offline, Disgruntled Technician, thank you for that feminist $12. 12 out of 12 stream, talking about the last one we did, Jack.
Oh,
reference to Pierre's political speech 101, but ignore everything I just said. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Not wrong.
Not wrong at all. Because Ms. Cox has had 2 prior cesarean sections, C-sections, continuing the pregnancy puts her at high risk for severe complications threatening her life and the future fertility, including uterine rupture and hysterectomy, the lawsuit states. Okay. The lawsuit does state that, but that's not what this lawsuit's about. All of this so far, it's like, oh, they want to terminate a pregnancy. It's going to hurt her. That's not what this is about at all. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. In 2021, Texas banned abortions after fetal cardiac activity is detected, usually around 6 weeks, before many people know they're even pregnant. When the Supreme Court overturned the abortion rights the following summer, trigger law, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about all this. Let's get back to the actual case here. What exactly is necessary to protect the life of the mother is a key area of contention. Cox has said, despite her pain and medical problems during her pregnancy, the law is too vague to determine whether an abortion under her circumstances would be legal. That is bullshit. That is nonsense. Mrs. Cox's physicians have informed her that their hands are tied and she will have to wait until her baby dies inside her or carry the pregnancy to term, at which point she'll be forced to have a 3rd C-section only to watch her baby suffer until death, the lawsuit states. For the record, my sister-in-law, her first 2 children were cesarean. Her 3rd was vaginal.
Oh.
It can and does happen. But this is one part that keeps getting brought up and making women especially very angry. The baby has to die inside her before they'll do anything. Bullshit! Sorry.
You got a little something caught in your throat there.
On December 7th, a district judge ruled Cox could legally terminate her pregnancy. In an emergency ruling, the judge granted a temporary restraining order against the state that would allow Cox to immediately have an abortion. The idea that Mrs. Cox wants desperately to be a parent, and this law might actually cause her to lose that ability, is shocking and will be a genuine miscarriage of justice, Judge Maya Guerrera Gamble said in a ruling. Pick a last name, fucker. After the ruling, the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, warned Cox's physician she could still face civil and criminal penalties at some point should Cox undergo the procedure, which could include first-degree felony prosecution and civil penalties of at least $100,000 for each violation. For each of the one abortion she's going to have?
Maybe she's planning on having more later.
On December 8th, the Texas Supreme Court temporarily blocked Cox from receiving the procedure. That's not true. Then on Monday, the court, comprised of 9 Republican justices.
Oh, probably white men.
Issuing a ruling and opinion siding with Paxton and reversing the lower court's ruling. But the court also called on the state's medical board to provide more guidance on the state's medical emergency exemption at the heart of Cox's case. In the opinion, the court said that it should be up to doctors, not judges, to decide whether to provide an abortion. No. No. That is not what they said. They didn't say it should be up to them. They said it is up to them. Because that's literally what the fucking law says. The court didn't have to go, oh, it should be up to doctors. It literally is up to them. We'll get to that in a minute. A pregnant woman does not need a court order to have a life-saving abortion in Texas, the court wrote in its opinion. Instead, a physician must determine, quote, that one is needed under the appropriate legal standard using reasonable medical judgment, end quote. Cox's attorney, Molly Duane, said the state Supreme Court decision to overturn the lower court decision is disappointing, but frankly, the court system, the political system, the infrastructure entirely in Texas has already failed Kate and her family.
Ugh, hang on. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Wait, she's desperate to be a parent, but didn't the article say she already had 2 cesarean surgeries?
Yep.
So she already had 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids. Don't pay any attention to that. You got to pull at those heartstrings a little bit and be like, oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. She just wants to be a mommy.
The lawyer added, no one is taking responsibility for what happened to her. You know who's responsible for what's happened to her?
Her? For not close her legs?
The pro-abortion people.
Oh.
Yeah, including her own doctor. We'll get to that in a minute. On Monday, Cox's attorneys with the Center for Reproductive Rights, the Center for Kill All the Children, announced she'd left the state to undergo an abortion. While the center is not disclosing more details about her plans, their statement said she received offers to help her access abortion elsewhere, from Kansas to Colorado to Canada. They love killing people in Canada, so if you get the opportunity, they're good at it.
They do.
Just be careful. You go in there for an abortion, they'll be like, oh, you want to die?
2-for-1 sale.
That pretty much goes over the gist of how I'll throw this in the chat so you guys can read it and make sure that I'm not missing something. Because like I said, I have not read this case or this story. So there's the CNN version of it, but we got their version of what happened. According to them, she was told she couldn't have an abortion because the doctor's like, our hands are tied. It's too vague. And so she sued, and the courts came down and went, no, bad little woman. Ken Paxton said you have to have that baby die in you. Am I summing up what we just read pretty well?
That's how I understood it.
Okay. All right. Who wants to hear the truth of what really happened?
Truth? Do we do that around here?
Anybody at all interested in the truth? Oh, you know what? We should move this so we can see better. Sorry about that, guys. I should have done that on the other one, too. Here is the actual Texas Supreme Court ruling. We'll blow it up so you guys can see it even better. There we go. Supreme Court of Texas. In regard to the state of Texas, Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, in his official capacity, blah, blah, blah. Petition for writ of amendment. I'm not Nick. I am not Nick the Nose. I can't read legalese. I don't speak Latin. I'll do my best.
Mens rea?
Is that what it was?
No.
Mandamus. Writ of mandamus. Yeah.
Oh, that's like writ of Vandamus, where you like have to kick somebody with karate.
It's where you got to show your really toned naked buttocks for some reason in every movie you're in.
He really likes his own butt.
Kate Cox and her husband Justin are the parents of 2 children. Miss Cox is about 20 weeks pregnant with a third child, one who received a tragic diagnosis. The Coxes and their doctors sue to prevent the enforcement of Texas laws that generally prohibit abortion. These laws reflect the policy choice that the legislature's made, and the court must respect that choice. Part of the legislature's choice is to permit a significant exception to the general prohibition against abortion. And it has delegated to the medical, rather than the legal profession, the decision about when a woman's medical circumstances warrant this exception. The law allows abortion when, in the exercise of reasonable medical judgment, the pregnant female has a life-threatening physical condition aggravated by, caused by, or arising from a pregnancy that places the female at risk of death or poses a serious risk of substantial impairment of a major bodily function unless the abortion is performed or induced. In other words, the life of the mother...
So this was all covered already.
Yes. The life of the mother would be a reasonable exception. Remember, it's too vague. Did that sound vague at all?
No, not at all.
And it even goes into, say, serious impairment of bodily functions, which would cover fertility.
Yeah.
So why is this in the court? Well,
I'm starting to side with Bubba Hotep more and more.
Only a doctor can exercise reasonable medical judgment to decide whether a pregnant woman has a life-threatening physical condition, making an abortion necessary to save her life or to save her from serious risk of substantial impairment. If a doctor using her reasonable medical judgment decides that a pregnant woman has such a condition, then the exception applies, and Texas law does not prohibit the abortion. We all up to speed on that?
Uh-huh.
There is no... They're not going, you have to have this baby. In this case, the pleadings state that Mrs. Cox's doctor, Dr. Damla Carson, believes Miss Cox qualifies for an abortion based on the medical necessary exemption. But when she sued seeking a court's pre-authorization, Dr. Carson did not assert that Mrs. Cox has a life-threatening physical condition, or that in Dr. Carson's reasonable medical judgment, an abortion is necessary because Mrs. Cox has the type of condition that exception requires.
So this is on the doctor.
Yes. Yes.
The doctor just said in advance during the beginning of this lawsuit that, yes, this is medically necessary.
Yep.
Then all of this could be avoided. Yeah,
yep.
I'm more convinced that maybe this bitch just got pregnant for the sake of suing.
No, I think she really got pregnant. This really did happen, and she's probably a pro-abortion person. And yeah, so she's like, hey, kind of shakedown. Use me. I'm your martyr.
Yeah.
Sued for pre-authorization. That's not even necessary under the law. She didn't have to go to the courts at all.
No, but they want to because they got to get their names in the paper. Oh, look at me. I'm the new Roe.
And if you look at how it's being presented everywhere, that's exactly how. Look how mean they're being. Forget the fact that this doesn't apply to most abortions anyway. The vast majority of abortions are for convenience. I don't care what anybody's telling you out there. Look it the fuck up. It's women who just decide, I don't want to be pregnant right now. Period. End of story. But this never had to go to the courts. The doctor took it to the courts. Where are we? No one disputes that Mrs. Cox's pregnancy has been extremely complicated. Any parent would be devastated to learn their unborn child's trisomy 18 diagnosis. Some difficulties in pregnancy, however, even serious ones, do not pose the heightened risk to the mother the exception encompasses. And this is where we're really getting into how they brought this. None of this was actually brought for her life or her health. This was brought for what they're calling the fatal fetal exception, which doesn't exist. That if there's going to be something wrong with the baby, then you can kill it. That's what the case really is.
Let's see.
And that's why. And that's why the doctor's not signing off on this, because she knows it's bullshit. The whole thing about, oh, she's had a cesarean. She's had 2 cesareans. Her uterus might literally rupture. Well, you could, do a cesarean again.
Nah.
I'm throwing that out there. In
Why
fact,
we could sue the government.
Where are we? The exception requires a doctor to decide whether Mrs. Cox's difficulties pose such risk. Dr. Carson asked a court to pre-authorize an abortion, yet she could not, or at least did not, attest to the court that Mrs. Cox's condition poses a risk the exception requires. Despite this, I'll throw this into chat too. Read it all, but I want to skip down towards the end, Jack, because we've already established that this never had to go to court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you remember that part about her having to leave? She had to leave to go get her abortion. Remember that?
Yep.
Well, though the statute affords physicians discretion, it requires more than a doctor's mere subjective belief. By requiring the doctor to exercise reasonable medical judgment, the legislature determined that the medical judgment involved must meet an objective standard. Dr. Carson asserted that she has a good faith belief that Mrs. Cox meets the exception's requirements. Certainly, a doctor cannot exercise reasonable medical judgment if she does not hold her judgment in good faith. See the difference there? The doctor has a good faith belief rather than a reasonable medical judgment.
Yeah.
But the statute requires that judgment be a reasonable medical judgment, and Dr. Carson has not asserted that her good faith belief about Mrs. Cox's condition meets that standard. Judges do not have the authority to expand the statutory exception to reach abortions that do not fall within the text under the guise of interpreting it. Basically, this is a judge or these 9 judges going, we're not doing Roe again. Go fuck yourselves.
Bastards.
The trial court erred in applying a different, lower standard instead of requiring reasonable medical judgment. Though courts may not expand the statute beyond the legislature's remit, limiting a physician's judgment by construing the exception more narrowly than the statute provides would likewise be error. For example, the statute does not require eminence, or, as Mrs. Cox's lawyer characterized the state's position, that the patient be about to die before a doctor can rely on the exception. So, in other words, you don't have to let the baby die in her or her almost die, which is what's being said all across the fucking media. The court is this is their decision where they won't let her have an abortion. The exception does not hold a doctor to medical certainty, nor does it cover only adverse results that will happen immediately absent an abortion, nor does it ask the doctor to wait until the mother's within an inch of death or her bodily impairment is fully manifest or practically irreversible. The exemption does not mandate that a doctor in a true emergency await consultation with other doctors who may not be available. Rather, the exception is predicated on a doctor acting within the zone of reasonable medical judgment, which is what doctors do every day. An exercise of medical judgment does not mean that every doctor would reach the same conclusion. A pregnant woman does not need a court order to have a life-saving abortion in Texas. Our ruling today does not block a life-saving abortion in this very case if a physician determines that one is needed under the appropriate legal standard using reasonable medical judgment. If Mrs. Cox is ready for this part, listen to this part. If Mrs. Cox's circumstances are or have become those that satisfy the statutory exception, no court order is needed. Nothing in this opinion prevents a physician from acting if, in that physician's reasonable medical judgment, she determines that Mrs. Cox has a life-threatening physical condition that places her at risk of death or poses a serious risk of substantial impairment. Did you catch that? Even with this ruling, they're saying she can have an abortion if she can get a doctor who just goes, yeah, she needs an abortion. That's literally what they said.
That's not good enough. Obviously, this is fascist Handmaid's Tale.
The points we have made above provide some clarity about the legal standard and framework of this sensitive area of Texas law. The courts cannot go further by entering into the medical judgment arena. The Texas Medical Board, however, can do more to provide guidance in response to any confusion that currently prevails. There is no confusion. This was done on purpose.
What?
Why
are you always thinking the worst of people, Monkey?
And it just goes on to say that they are granting relief to the state here. So, yeah, that's what this is all about. This has nothing to do with her life, and they're being so mean to her. They're really not.
You're trying to make this sound like this is some sort of activist attempt to wedge in for the ability to kill babies whenever they want in a place that doesn't want that.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
That is what you said. Okay, never mind. I heard that right.
When I went and read that decision, I know my blood pressure was high. I didn't check it, but I could feel my face red and just angry. Because the way this is being put out there is like, they stopped this poor woman from life-saving. Her baby's going to die and they're all going to die. And all the court said was, if you find a doctor who says she needs it, she can have it. Her own fucking doctor won't do it. Her own doctor goes to the state and goes, I need a pre-authorization. You didn't need to do that. You could have done it. And if anybody asked you about it, said, it was medically necessary. The end. But the original case, the original complaint brought by the doctor had nothing to do with this life of the mother stuff. They tell us that in the case. All of that shit was added on because what they were really trying to do is get the abortion exemption for the fetus, because the fetus might not be viable. The baby might die.
Oh, sorry.
The baby might die, so we need to kill it.
This is the woman here?
Yeah.
Oh. What was one of the malformities the giant forehead?
I have no idea. No idea what it can manifest in many different ways. But this is the shit they do, guys. I mean, go out there and look up this case. Look up Kate Cox versus Texas, or Kate Cox, Texas Supreme Court, and just go read how it's said. The CNN one actually is one of the best ones I've read, and that was a shit article.
We should be terrified by that. Criminally shaped 5-head. Yes, absolutely assess. Real quick. Oh, sorry.
It's astounding to me how many people will listen and agree with us about how fucked up the media is, but then just swallow anything they're told.
Habit. It takes lots to deprogram yourself from that. We've all done it.
Anyway, you were going to say?
Thank you, Dixie Rose, for that feminist donation. If this case sets precedent, then they could possibly argue abortion of Down syndrome babies. Yeah, I think that's a lot of what's going on here, is that they want to be able to have designer babies. Filter out. It's eugenics disguised as healthcare. You're gonna have a retard or a Downsy. Oh, just carve it out. Oh, it's gonna have brown eyes. Oh no, I want blue eyes. Carve it out. That's how they've treated abortion for a long time now, and that's what Margaret Sanger wanted. She wanted specifically to get rid of black kids, but she also wanted to be. She was a big eugenicist, so she was also hoping to set the precedent of selectively engineering social desirables. Thank you, Dixie.
The nonsense in this case is just angering, man. This is one of the most egregious examples I've seen of this in a while, of how our media does this crap. We see it all the time, of course, but this is fucking egregious. This lady is allowing herself and her dead baby now to be used so that she can push a bullshit lie to get more abortions back in the world.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, these people do not see babies as people. Mm-hmm. They see them as cells. So it fits their political whims to use this as a stepping stone to get more of what they want, because they have no moral compunction about treating babies as non-people. And that's the repulsive danger that you face here, is once you start otherizing people, you can start stepping on their corpses to get what you want.
Bubba says a lot of people have expertise bias. If you know about a subject, you can see what is bullshit. But if you turn the page to something you don't know about, you go, oh my God, really? I hear you. And people got to get out of that. Because when I have the feeling of, oh my God, really? You know what I do? I go look. Like in this case, I'm like, really? That sounds kind of fucked up. And then I finally found the actual decision. I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. It's just disgusting what was done in this case. Yeah. And the media complicity with this propagandist bullshit lying is stomach turning.
But this is what we've bred into people is not only listening to the media and falling for what they say, but also the experts. You see this with climate stuff all the time. Climate change. They've got so many people just buffaloed with their nonsense, they'll believe anything. So it's just a matter of people have to go out and do a lot more research, read multiple articles on a topic, because you're never going to get the truth out of them.
Stub, thank you. What irks me is they lie about pushing for a third trimester. Well, they lie about everything, so I hear you. Understatement, thank you. I'm pretty sure blacks wasn't the term she used. No, it's probably not the one Sanger used, that's for sure.
No, she used some more colorful language.
Yeah. She used some rap lyrics is what she used.
Yeah, we can't use the terms on here. Any of the variations of the N-word that she would use.
Shio says most people are too busy to go look, work, kids, school, sleep. And I hear you, but how can you get so upset about something? You know how I saw this story, Jack? This is true. I logged onto Twitter yesterday and I saw SDA, Some Dumb American, had tweeted, which I haven't seen a tweet from her in forever. And it said, I hope Ken Paxton is having the day he deserves to have. I was like, fuck, what'd Ken Paxton do? So I went and looked this up, and every article is like, Ken Paxton is keeping this woman from having a baby. From having an abortion, making her die. Until you actually go read. At what point do you get lied to enough that you're just, that you're going to get outraged and be like, I don't have time to look into this outrage? If you're going to be that outraged by it, I feel you have almost a duty to go figure out what you're mad about. Otherwise, it's just the mob mentality bullshit.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're getting mad at the right people.
Mm-hmm. And this has already been all over the place. This has been going on since Monday. And people are entrenched. How dare they do this? Somebody just before this told me over on Twitter. What I stepped away from at the very beginning of this was I was on Twitter and some idiot was like, they want to make her have a baby die in her. Like, that's not what the fucking thing said. It's literally not what it said. But they don't care. They don't give a shit. And they get outraged. Oh my God, my abortions. My abortions. People have been so programmed to believe that they have a right to just kill a child. If you bring up any nonsense about it, go look at the kid that you read about. What was she, 12-year-old in Ohio who couldn't have an abortion?
Oh, yeah.
And do you remember how mad they were about that 12-year-old getting raped? Oh, wait, no, they didn't give a shit about that.
Especially because it was the illegal immigrant boyfriend of her mom.
Yeah.
But they just try and cover that shit up because and
a medical exemption would have worked in that case if they'd stayed in Ohio when she's 12. She's been raped. But they were like, no, they won't let this 12-year-old girl have a kid. Was she 10? 10, sorry. 10. They won't let her have an abortion. They're going to force her to have a baby. No, they weren't. But you guys lied about everything up to it. Ebony, thank you. Is the heartbeat bill still in effect in Texas? Yes. And that's what this exemption was about, because there is an exemption for life of the mother. And that's why when it first gets turned down, they knew it would. Actually, it actually got the original ruling was that it got approved and it goes to the Supreme Court where they knew it would go. And it gets turned down. And what do? They won't let her have an abortion. She's going to die. Her uterus is going to rupture. I actually read one article, Jack, where they described what a uterine rupture is like. It's horrible for the woman, and there's internal bleeding, and it can cause to infertility. Like, fuck off.
But does a mushroom cloud shoot out of her vagina?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay, then. That's pretty fucked up.
And then 10 years later, Godzilla.
Gojira. Oh man, that movie was so fucking good.
Instead of crabs, she gets Godzillas now. Yeah, this is fucking horrible, man. I feel bad for this lady. I could not imagine being a parent being told, hey, if this baby makes it, there's a good chance it's going to die in its first year.
Yeah, it's horrible, but why be disingenuous about all of this?
And I saw Ed Krasenstein. I didn't even realize it was about this story, but he just posted, because that's what the Krasensteins do, about how, you know, if a baby's going to die, it's horrible. I'm like, okay, well, what about this? What if you don't find out until the baby's born? If the baby's born and you're told, hey, it's only going to have a year to live, do you kill it? And somebody hit me up with this really disgusting picture of their own child. And I'm sorry to say disgusting. It's a really deformed baby. I don't know if it's theirs or not. But like, I'm just speaking of my personal experience about how horrible it is. I'm like, well, did you stab the baby when it came out like that? Because if not, why not? What's the difference of passing through the birth canal? If it's okay to do it in month 9, day 29, what's the difference in month 10, day 5?
They have to look at it.
Snubber, thank you. So to recap, no doctor would approve because it was fine. No doctor would approve because it did not meet the medical exemptions. There is no medical exemption for the baby might not live. And that has never even been something anybody's ever argued for. It's life of the mother and rape. Those are the two they love to bring up. It's the life of the mother, they were raped, or incest. But now they're trying to get they're trying to add on to that. And you know what? That's an argument to be had. I have a lot more sympathy for, hey, this baby is going to suffer for the year that it is alive. Maybe we just don't make it go through that. Than I do some bitch who's like, but I got to go clubbing Friday.
Yeah.
Which is what most abortion is. Anyway, just to recap, this has all been a lie. It's all been a lie brought to you by the media and the people who just really, really, really like killing little brown babies.
Wait. Oh, man. You told me that the media lies?
Yes, a lot.
Oh. I'm shocked.
You can find some truth in there. I mean, it is true that the court told him that she couldn't have the exemption she was looking for because there is no exemption for that. That's that. Yeah. We need to kill the baby or it'll die. It makes sense. If I, as a father, if I had to watch my child live in misery for a year, and not just what it would do to me, but what it would do to the child, I would have a hard time making that choice, Jack.
Yeah. But if somebody's going to suffer, you know,
but again,
that's a death sentence for sure. Then that's, I don't know.
But again, by that same thing, if they didn't find out this thing had trichinosis 18 or whatever it's called, trisomy 18, until it was born, and be like, okay, it only has a 10% chance of living past a year. Do you kill it? Yeah, oh, well, fuck it. Let's just stab it in the face right now.
Well, it depends if you're Canadian.
So, yeah, I've actually been sexually assaulted and wish they'd stop using people like me in their fucking abortion defenses. I understand. I saw a lady the other day who came out and was talking about how she had a rape baby. And she loves the child, and the child's like an adult now. And people are like, oh, how dare you? You should have killed it. I get the idea of not making a rape survivor go through the birth of the child that's the offspring of her rapist.
Yeah.
But the baby didn't do it. It means 3 chromosomes. If that, it's not that I actually even care about how to pronounce it. Sorry. That's me being facetious. I appreciate it, Faithless, but the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter what the horrible disease is. The exemptions for the state, it has nothing to do with fetal viability. And that's what this was really, that's what they brought it for. Because the only reason to actually have the abortion was fetal viability, and that is not a legal exemption. And if you don't like that, that needs to be taken up in the legislature, not the fucking courts. That's exactly what happened in Roe, where she's like, I got raped. I need to have an abortion. By the way, she wasn't raped. She lied about that. And there was no reason for that to go to the court, and the court go, oh, yes, you deserve to have an abortion. There's a reason they always throw in this extra shit. Notice this isn't a case about some woman who got knocked up at the club and had to go clubbing again next week, which is, again, where a lot of the abortion comes from. Some chick who got pregnant and just doesn't want to have a baby. No. Find us a victim. And that's what they did here. Just saying. Also, if you wanted a child, wouldn't you take 10% over 0? Oh, God, I don't know. We had one miscarriage, and it was very early in the pregnancy, and that fucking destroyed me, man. I don't know how I would deal with that if the child had been born. I don't know. That's one for me I have an issue with that. I don't know that you can tell people they have to go through that, if you can stop it from happening. But then again, how do you know you're not one of the 10%?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Those are tough moral questions.
Yeah. So, and you know what? Again, that's an argument to have in front of the legislature. It's not one to take to the courts as you try to circumvent the rules because you don't like that you can't just have your baby sucked out because, hey, Tanya said to come down to the club and I got this bun in the oven. I might be Stevie Nicks.
Ew.
I had an abortion so I can sing to you like a girl. Fucking with that one. Anyway.
So much hate for Stevie Nicks.
So before the show, Mr. E said in chat, how mad is this going to make me? You tell me, how mad did that story make you that you were lied to like that from how this has been presented? The court literally said, hey, if you can find a doctor right now who says she needs it, she can have it. And like, they won't let her have an abortion. No, you can't find a doctor who is willing to put their career on the line and say she actually needs it. That's the problem. The truth of the matter is she doesn't need an abortion for her health or her life. So you don't have to like the Texas law, but that's what the law says. And they've just flat out lied about it. Yay, American media. I think I'm all matted out right now. This is Mrs. E's. This is Mr. E's complete lack of surprise. Fair enough. It just bothers me because I am a fan of truth. And there's times you can have discussions where there's nuance and stuff. There's no nuance here. This is just straight up lying. It's just straight up lying so that they can get their abortions back. I need to suck out this baby. Oh, God. Jack, I'm going to show you a picture on the screen. We're going to switch. We're going to move away from that. Yeah, we're going to move from the abortions to how you end up pregnant and needing one in the first place.
Oh, is this
I'm just going to put
instructional video?
No. It's a story with this picture on it about how some creep is going around Manchester at night taking pictures of women and posting it to TikTok. And he's creepy.
We prefer Person-Chester now.
I don't understand how the guy taking these pictures is creepy if they're doing this out in public.
Yeah, you're out in public like that. It's not creepy. He's not trying to upskirt shot you, bitch.
He's literally just taking a picture from in front of them showing how hoary they're dressed.
I haven't seen it. I saw the video of this, of chicks walking around looking like tarts. Don't go out looking like a street whore. Okay, some of these chicks had their tits hanging out. Like, what do you expect people to think you are? You dress like a whore, you get treated like a whore.
Hi, VB. How you doing, sweetie?
Hey,
I just saw the headline calling the guy who's taking the pictures creepy. One, I don't know if it's a guy or girl. Maybe it says in the article. But they're not the creepy one. You're dressed like a fucking, literally like a hooker. This is the kind of shit that in the 80s, you'd have somebody dressed like this to be the streetwalker in a movie.
Yeah. Julia Roberts didn't dress as slutty and Pretty Woman.
No. And they're like, how dare you? How dare you show us looking like whores in public? How about, I'm just throwing this out there, don't look like a whore in public. Where are we? Don't care about that. Did you see the video from the?
They'd be wearing burqas.
Did you see the video from the White House today?
Which one?
The Nutcracker.
Oh my god, that was fucking stupid. I was enraged watching it. Like, what a waste of time and money. And it was, I'm sorry, but if you can make Nick Fuentes look masculine, you did something wrong. Still there? Monkey?
Hello, there we go.
Oh, there you are.
I was switching over because I actually want to watch this.
I'm just going to shout until you respond.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, whenever you dip out now, I'm just going to... Bubba said, we're hanging on. Yeah, grab something sturdy. It's going to be a wild ride.
For those... Oh, should I mute? Yeah, I probably should mute this.
Yeah, mute that because the music's shit anyway.
This
is the Nutcracker.
As put on by a tap dancing thing at our White House.
Yeah, they're literally tap dancing. That's creepy. That's creepy. Like, these people all, like, if I saw them in public, I would cross the street to avoid them. And this is the worst rendition ever of the Nutcracker or Babes in Toyland, whichever one they're supposed to be doing.
It's supposed to be the Nutcracker.
The dudes with the flower on their heads, seriously? I don't want any Bud Light, thank you.
Right?
No.
This is gayer than 9 guys blowing 10 guys.
Right? Seriously, like, Bud Light's starting to look a lot better with their Dylan Mulvaney scandal.
I'm fairly certain everybody here had a lot of Bud Light. And for the record, they're very good tap dancers. I like tap dancing ever since I first saw, I think Gregory Hines is the first person I ever saw do tap.
Rewind it just a second there. Just to the guy in the flower hat.
Oh, when he pops up, I'll pause him again.
Yeah.
Or I'll pause him this time. There you go.
Let's get a good look at him. Because Gage Jamiroquai here. I saw this as soon as he popped on the scene. Like, I kind of got a glimpse of one of them earlier because there's 2 of them like this. But when I saw this, I was like, what the fuck is going on? There's so many things wrong with our country. And it is starting to look a lot like the Capitol from the Hunger Games. But seriously, Gage Jamiroquai.
Sweet tap dancing. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat that last word there, but I don't know why he's got his little flower on his head. I don't know why. There's a woman running around dressed in a suit. Why not have the guy dressed in the suit and her in the flowery thing?
Yeah, same reason they racially swapped the Nutcracker.
Way over there on the right side here. Whoops. Let's go back just a touch. That's a chick over here.
Play the Mouse King or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Is that what it is? A chicken. Oh, the Mouse King. Yeah. For some reason, they have a chick dressed up as a dude, and then they have a dude with a flower on his head. I don't understand.
I don't either. This whole thing is just utter performance art nonsense.
Wouldn't it make more sense to have the dude be the Mouse King?
You would think so, but that they're making a statement, not subtly either.
No.
I think the soldier is also a woman.
Now, yeah, it is. Yes, there's only 2 guys in here. You have the band leader here and the flower. My favorite part comes up here. Wait. Back that up a second. Is that motherfucker wearing Crocs?
Probably. I mean, you got to go full bore gay.
Okay, no, those actually tie. They just look a lot like Crocs. Okay. My favorite part is coming up. This is a tap dancing thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And she's going to lead us down the hallway. Da, da, da. They're now in a carpeted room.
Mm-hmm.
You know how hard it is to tap dance in a carpeted room?
Some would say very difficult.
I mean, you can do it, but the whole point of the tap is getting the... You can't hear it. It's very, very muted because they're on carpet in this scene. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Do you guys see them too? Joe Biden, right? Maybe that's what that is. Maybe this is just Jill fucking with Joe.
No, this is just more ugly nonsense from wokies that think that this means something.
Oh, wait, here we go.
Some deeper meaning in this
guitar solo.
Oh my god, because it needed that.
By the way, there is no guitar playing in this.
No, of course not. Why would there be?
It's a different instrument that she's just pretending is a guitar for some reason.
God, I fucking hate this. Yeah, somebody said it in chat. Is Atheist Icon. Make art meaningless and ugly. They've been doing that for 30 years. Probably longer. But this is just hideous nonsense. It's a waste of time that they're trying to make seem like it's important. But it's not.
God, you could drive a Cadillac through that gap in that chick's teeth. Yeah. I wonder if she's related to Stacey Abrams.
Probably. You mean the governor of Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go, guys. There's your Jill Biden said, a bit of magic, wonder, and joy brought to you by the talented tappers of Dorrance Dance performing their playful interpretation of the Nutcracker Suite. Enjoy.
Playful interpretation. It's not playful. It's stupid.
Yeah. It's a dance routine. I refuse to be offended. I'm not offended by it. I just think it's really disturbing.
I think it's dumb. What a waste of tax dollars.
I am sure that this was all privately funded.
Yeah, right. With taxpayer money.
In the White House.
Yeah, in the people's house.
That is the White House that they were going through. By the way, who decorated the White House this year? It looks like ass.
It's gaudy as shit. Usually that's the first lady's job.
Melania had it very elegant.
Oh, she's classy broad, but Jill Biden, she's tacky as shit.
All right.
Fake Dr. Biden.
Oh, I'm going to put this on the screen. Some of you have no idea what the hell this even means, but this is for my fellow Pokemon fans out there. If you have Scarlet and Violet, here's mystery gifts you can get and the dates that they expire. So grab those if you want them. Just saying. That's right. We do all kinds of stuff over here, Jack.
Sure.
All you got to do is pause it and you can find the code. Anyway, should we talk? Did you see Hunter Biden today?
Oh my God, that was so fucking stupid and enraging. Yes, that was major news today. That I think is probably the biggest news of the day.
So, Hunter Biden was supposed to go in and be interviewed for a deposition. Well, he was supposed to have a deposition behind closed doors, and he decided he had a different way of doing things, Jack.
Yeah, he didn't feel like he needed to do it.
He's well, let's just talk to Crackhead.
Let's listen in to Hunter Biden.
Legitimate questions Chairman Comer and the House Oversight Committee may have for me. I'm here today to make sure that the House Committee's illegitimate investigations of my family do not proceed on distortions, manipulated evidence, and lies.
I'm fairly certain that's not his job, first of all. But I can respect that. I don't want the government lying about me. All right. But when he starts out with I'm here to make sure that this illegitimate inquiry, I'm sorry, you don't get to decide that, sir.
Yeah, you get subpoenaed. You have to go give your deposition.
So far, over and over, and we're not going to watch it, but there's a follow-up to this from Jim Jordan and Jim Comer, which I'm going to throw into the chat where they talk about this. Originally, we were told Mr. Biden had literally nothing whatsoever to do with his husband. Whoops. The son that he hates, he had nothing to do with that guy's businesses at all. Nothing, zero, zilch.
Yep. Never talked to him about it even.
And then it was, I didn't talk to them about business. And then it was, and now it's down to a whole new thing where instead of that, it's, my dad wasn't financially involved in my business. Everything we've heard from them so far has come out to be true, unlike what they tried pulling with Donald Trump.
Yeah, their ever-evolving story.
Mm-hmm.
Here today to acknowledge that I've made mistakes in my life.
Didn't you write a whole book about it, dickhead? Okay, you're here to acknowledge you've made mistakes in your life. You want to address some of the things that I think it was his niece who was like, when are you going to come sleep with me? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Are you going to address that with your weird boogie teeth? He doesn't, by the way, guys.
And wasted opportunities and privileges I was afforded.
Oddly, you seem to be doing pretty well for yourself, dickhead. Jack, if you had wasted the opportunities that this man has wasted, how do you think your life would be?
Let's see. I wouldn't have wasted those, but if I had, I'd be a pretty miserable piece of shit.
My guess would be you'd be living on this bench right back here.
Quite likely. But, when your dad's the vice president and your family's stupid corrupt, things are a little different for you.
For that, I'm responsible. For that, I'm accountable. And
are you now?
Yeah, accountable. Like when the Secret Service bails you out and hides the gun that you threw in the trash, or covers for you for your various lies and illegal actions with firearms, all the drugs and whores and God knows what else you've been into.
If you're accountable for all that, here's what I suggest you do. Go down to the FBI, tell them all of your crimes, and when the DOJ eventually comes to get you, just plead guilty to everything. No deals, just, I did it. I'm ready to serve my time.
You're funny.
And for that, I'm making amends.
You're gonna unsnort all that coke? What are you doing to make amends? What are you doing to make amends for the fact that your gun could have ended up in the hand of a child? No, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
he's not gonna do anything.
But I'm also here today to
wait. I got to correct you, Evil One, because Evil One says slept with my dead brother's wife. Couple of things there. One, I still don't believe that this man waited until his brother was dead to bang that whore.
Yeah.
But two, it's worse than that. He cheated on his dead brother's wife.
Yeah, not only was he fucking his dead brother's wife, he was also fucking a stripper on the side, an alleged stripper.
He cheated on his dead brother's wife. That's what a fucked up piece of shit Hunter Biden is.
He was probably fucking hookers on top of that.
Oh, he absolutely was.
Correct how the MAGA right has betrayed me for their political purposes.
The MAGA right betrayed him. Were they on the same team?
Everybody's on his team. Just ask him.
I just love how the MAGA right betrayed me. Like he's Caesar and the Legion turned against him or something. Jesus fucking Christ, you piece of shit.
Well, no, see, everybody bails him out, so he expects everybody to continue to do it. This guy's never had a real consequence in his life other than getting booted out of the Navy, which he probably was happy about.
Oh, did he say portray? Oh, man, you got to get those teeth fixed, man.
I am first and foremost a son.
You are first and foremost a crackhead.
Yeah.
Father.
Wait, no.
I am first and foremost a son, a father.
Didn't you deny paternity to one of your children? And then when it was finally proven, go back a year later to get the child support reduced?
Yeah, and then make the kid not have his last name.
Oh, yeah. And as part of that settlement, insist that the child cannot have the last name Biden, which would afford that child the same kind of protections your bitch ass has had.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to take responsibility for that.
I'm first and foremost a son, a father with, illegitimate children that I don't actually care about.
Just think of it as like the Barry Bonds asterisk in the Hall of Fame.
Imagine
I'm a
that
father
kid's...
asterisk.
Yeah, right. Imagine now that you're the father of this. You're a father. You find out you have this child who's living with a stripper.
Alleged stripper. We're not sure she actually was a stripper.
I thought it was confirmed she was a stripper.
I think she's denied that.
Okay. Close enough to a stripper. She's not living the high life. How about that?
Yeah, she's, poor person, working class, probably, a little on the floozy side.
Now imagine you wake up and find out that you are the granddaughter of the President of the United States. And instead of getting to live as the granddaughter of the president, as rich like all the others, you still got to live in the crack den with stripper mama. What kind of father lets that happen, you piece of shit?
One that doesn't give a fuck about where he drops his seed.
I'm a father. Fuck you.
What do you think the odds are? The reason they're not releasing the flight logs to Epstein Island is because his name is on there somewhere?
Oh, no, I don't think it's that. I think there's way too many names on there. Way too many names.
That's fair.
A brother and a husband.
Not a good brother.
We're gonna let the whole thing play.
Political purposes.
Here we go.
I am first and foremost a son.
Bad one.
A father.
Bad one.
A brother.
Bad one.
And a husband.
Bad one. You cheated on your wife with your brother's widow. You cheated on your brother's widow with a whore who you knocked up, denied paternity. You've gotten yourself kicked out of the Navy, been in rehab at least 5 different times. Your dad's had to bail you out repeatedly, both metaphorically and literally. You can say you are these things, but you're not a good one. That'd be like Mengele
you're
saying,
a bad person.
Be like Mengele going, first of all, or my foremost, I'm a doctor.
I'm a scientist.
Jesus Christ. It might be true. It doesn't make you a good one, shithead.
From a loving and supportive family. I'm proud to have earned degrees from Georgetown University and Yale Law School.
Yeah, we are convinced you did all the work there.
Yeah, it wasn't just rubber stamped. Nope.
I'm proud of my legal career and business career.
You mean the one that wasn't doing anything until daddy got you the connections? Yeah, you're struggling a bit and suddenly you have all this massive wealth from, let's call them Chinese sources.
Benefactors, I think.
Benefactors, there you go. Patrons.
Yeah. Speaking of which, our Patreons are listed in the description.
Proud of my time serving on a dozen different boards of directors. And I'm proud of my efforts to forge global business relationships.
That's the first thing he said that I believe. I'm sure he's proud of what he's done internationally. Because it's made him and his daddy very wealthy men.
Yep. Just say it's all about the money.
His daughter ain't seeing none of that shit.
For 6 years, MAGA Republicans, including members of the House committees who are in a closed-door session right now, have impugned my character.
You know what's not helping? Avoiding them. Maybe you should confront them on that.
Fuck you impugn this guy's character.
I have no idea.
That's like saying you made shit smell bad.
right now have impugned my character, invaded my privacy, attacked my wife.
Who attacked his wife?
I have no idea.
I haven't heard anything said about his wife.
Me either.
My children, my family.
No, nobody's attacked your children. People have pointed out that you have fucking ignored your children. One specifically.
Family and my friends.
My co-conspirators.
Dealer.
They ridiculed my struggle with addiction.
Yep.
Well,
They belittled my recovery.
Yep.
What recovery?
Dehumanize me.
Wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. What were you saying?
What recovery?
Hey, that was not his coke in the White House.
Right. Sure it wasn't.
Did you?
I don't believe this guy's in recovery. He still talks with junkie mentality.
We'll talk about it in a little bit. But did you see the spaces that had Tucker Carlson on it yesterday? I think it was.
I don't remember which one was it. The Alex Jones one?
No, it was Hunter. Tucker was the main attraction there. Tucker Carlson came on.
Oh, no, I caught a few minutes of it, but I didn't catch enough to really get what was going on. I just zoned out.
We'll talk about it later because there's another aspect that I want to discuss. But Tucker was asked about the coke in the White House, and Tucker goes, "I'm clean now, but I used to partake." And he goes, "And one thing any cokehead will tell you is you do not take coke into the White House." He goes,
I wouldn't think not.
He goes, "You leave that at home." He goes, "To me, that says whoever is using it or was using it is somebody who is comfortable being there."
Yeah. Somebody did think it was a big deal. And obviously it wasn't a big deal because they just ignored it like it was the manifesto of a Vegas shooter.
All right, now we're going to let him get through his whole complaint of what they've done to him here, okay? Because there's a part that's wonderful.
My wife.
No, they didn't.
My children.
Nope.
My family.
Nope.
And my friends.
Nope.
They ridiculed my struggle with addiction. They belittled my recovery. And they have tried to dehumanize me, all to embarrass and damage my father, who devoted his entire public life to service.
Yeah, that's what it was, Jack.
Yeah. Oh, this is such bullshit. First of all, recovery is very, very challenging. It's a daily struggle for recovering addicts. And I have the utmost respect for people that got clean because that is not easy to do. This guy is full of shit. I don't buy for a second that he is anywhere near clean. And I don't. He hides behind his addiction like a shield, just like you see with feminists. It's fucking disgusting. I'm tired of people shitting on, like, ruining the reputation of people that have actually overcome things. Whether it's the fake PTSD clowns, the I have multiple personalities bullshit, or I'm in recovery. No, you're fucking not. I don't buy it for a fucking second. God, that's enraging.
Evil One says, as a former junkie, you are a liar and blame everyone but yourself. True. Hey.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Evil One, how dare you? He's here to accept accountability.
Yeah, this dude doesn't accept any accountability. It's always somebody else. Oh, the MAGA Republicans. Oh, somebody else victimized me. He's never, ever the person that causes his own problems. It's sickening. You're never going to get better if you don't accept the fact that you made mistakes.
For 6 years, I have been the target of the unrelenting Trump attack machine, shouting, "Where's Hunter?"
For 9 years, you've gotten away with tax evasion, cocksucker.
Yeah.
That's not even a question. You even pled guilty. The judge threw it out. So eat me.
Yeah, you had 51 intelligence officials lie for you, saying the laptop was Russian disinformation. So your daddy could win the White House. Fuck you, you sack of shit. Your whole fucking shitty family. Corrupt second. I'll quit.
Well, here's my answer.
Oh, please.
I am here.
I am here. Now, remember, he's supposed to be here to be giving a closed-door deposition.
Yeah.
You know, a chance to set the record straight, Jack.
You would think so.
Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad, and certainly not as an artist.
I love that he threw that part in at the end there.
Yeah, like his dad's secretly doing the paintings for him.
My dad, but see, that's where we got to hear it. My dad was not financially involved.
Yeah, hair splitting.
Changed again. Not financially, but we know that your company paid your dad. We talked about that the other day. Like, oh, it was just a car loan from your company?
That's not weird.
Whether you like it or not, that there entangles your dad with your company's business. He was financially involved in it. He got money from them.
Nah, that you don't understand the inner workings of the business relationship or some.
Oh, I do. Actually, if what we're told is true and his dad was paid back for a private loan through a company, frankly, you're guilty of fraud and embezzlement.
Oh, hate fact.
You should be getting more charges for that.
Which felony would you like to admit to?
During my battle with addiction.
You know what? I don't care about the rest of this. He's basically telling us, "Hey, I'm not gonna do this. I will only do it in public." Well, sir, that's not how the system works. And I just want to point out here, Jack, that Donald Trump is being charged with obstructing official proceedings.
Yes.
Under a law that doesn't actually apply to what Donald Trump is supposedly accused of. Which, remember, stems, we talked about this the other day, it stems from the Enron scandal because the Enron folks were dragging their feet responding to subpoenas and preservation of records. If you're going to use that vague terminology for the, and this is before the Supreme Court, we'll talk about that in a minute too, to apply to Donald Trump, it 100% applies to this shitbag and has more to do with it because that was about fraud and corruption. He is 100% guilty here of doing that. And there is no ambiguity about that. Remember, guys, obstruction of justice is not just about hiding things that protect somebody who's guilty. If you're materially lying to people or obstructing in a way that throws the investigators off course, even if you're being even if it doesn't like get somebody off for something, it just delays it, you're still guilty of it. The obstruction of justice is not just hiding the bad people. It's slowing the process down so you can't get to the bad people too. But anyway, Jack, let's talk about that court case. We discussed it the other day that the Supreme Court was considering the January 6th cases where they've been charged with obstructing an official proceeding.
Yeah.
Well, the court did decide today, and at least four people, I don't know if they ever said how many exactly voted for it. When a case comes before the court, at least 4 of the 9 justices have to go, yes, we'll hear this one. And 4 of them did that today. The argument being that this obstruction of an official proceeding has nothing to do with what happened on January 6th, that it's actually about what I just talked about with Enron and not getting your files and destroying materials and that kind of shit. And they agreed to hear this. And this is a case that, if just by the court taking up the case, is going to push back at least one of Jack Smith's case, because it's central to it. He's either going to have to drop that charge so he can go forward with it, or he's going to have to wait until this is decided by the court, which will be interesting to see.
Yeah. Did you hear about the bribery scandal that he is alleged to have been involved in?
No.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I got an article about that.
If I did, I don't remember it.
Yeah. The Gateway Pundit broke this. I think it was them anyway. So John Moynihan filed a whistleblower complaint with the Department of Justice Inspector General on November 28th, alleging that Jack Smith, the special prosecutor pursuing Donald Trump, was engaged in an extortion scheme while he was working at the International Court of Justice.
Oh.
And there is a link in the article to an article by Patrick Byrne about this. It's no coincidence Jack Smith, in the wake of the complaint, made an impromptu move on Monday, December 11th, asking the U.S. Supreme Court to decide whether Donald Trump had immunity to the charges filed by Smith. Moynihan's complaint was filed on November 28th, 2023, and Smith, 13 days later, decides to bypass the appeals court. Now, this is from the Gateway Pundit, so there's some commentary in here. Here's a quote from the complaint. I am currently a consultant to the DEA and other United States law enforcement agencies. I have 35 years experience. That's spelled wrong. Investigating domestic and international money laundering cases in both civil and criminal matters. The cases I've worked involved, blah, 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 blah. John learned of Jack Smith's alleged involvement thanks to a tip from a friend and DEA agent who had a confidential informant who alerted him to the extortion scheme at the ICJ and stated in the complaint. It includes affidavits with 4 people with ties to Kosovo. They're named. I can't pronounce any of them. The one guy lives in Spain, is a wealthy businessman with contacts throughout the Balkans and Russia. And apparently it was one of those things of, we would hate to take you to court, but if some money fell in my lap, maybe it goes away.
Real quick. Sorry, just before this pops off the screen, Bubba, I have not talked about the completionist because I don't think I've had a long stream since then. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
No, it just goes into some in-depth stuff here. I'll drop the link in for anyone. It's worth reading because there's some crazy allegations in here that are, let's face it, probably true.
Talking about the court, Eagle says they won't vote in Trump's favor. They're spineless. So now every president will have to watch his back. Well, the case isn't actually about Trump, is the thing. It's about the January 6th defendants. One of the guys there's 2 people who were suing to get those charges thrown out. I don't know about one of them, but the other guy he's going to jail for a long time. He's guilty of beating up a cop and some other shit. But on this part, he's like, no, that's bullshit. That's not a charge that should be there. And given the court itself and the case itself, they have a really good chance of winning this one.
Yeah.
And the fact that it'll help Trump is immaterial to it, honestly. All right, Jack. I want to talk. This is such a weird story. Travis Gardner sent this to me. Why is Utah HVAC company set to buy an entire Oklahoma college? That's not a headline I was expecting.
Well, shit keeps getting weird, so.
Now, what it boils down to is this HVAC company. I'm not going to read the whole article on stream. I'll throw it in the chat if you guys want to read it. I want to get to the very bottom of it, but the background here. This HVAC company comes in and does $1 million+ worth of upgrades to the HVAC units in this school, and the schools refuse to pay for it. So they got taken to court, and a judgment was awarded, and the sheriff is having an auction. The auction might have happened by now too. I meant to check up on that. And they're having an auction. They're selling the school to pay for the repairs that were done.
Maybe they should have paid their bill.
The guy who's owed the money is thinking of buying the school.
You've already got buildings set up that are established for teaching. You could just run an HVAC teaching school.
Well, what he's planning on doing, according to the article, is buying it and shutting it down at the end of the school year. But my favorite part of this is the very end of the article. Where did that go? Sorry, I should have had this already queued up. Well, you know what? I do have it queued up. Jack.
Uh-oh.
Because the part that I want is this quote right here. It says, this is the story, because this is the oldest Native American college in that state.
So this is now a racial issue.
Kind of. This is a story of the Native people where we have a piece of land and a corporation or an entity like the United States can come in and take it out from underneath us.
You didn't pay your fucking bill. It's not like they went in and like showed up with HVAC equipment and was like, get out, all of you. No, you didn't pay the bill that you owed for work that was done for you. And then they had to sue you for it, and you lost, obviously, because you owed the money. It's got nothing to do with the fact that you're Native, you fucking idiot.
No, they made him walk the trail of air conditioners.
Oh my god, yeah, it's just a bunch of like window units lined up. They had to walk through shamefully.
They just come in and take our land. Well, yeah, but that's because you owe a massive bill.
That's because you didn't pay your fucking bill. You don't get to be a deadbeat. Oh my god, that's insulting.
It's not like they were trying to have a colonialist school there, so they took away the Indian one. Fuck off.
Yeah, this is fucking dumb. No, that's insulting to actual issues that natives might have. This really waters it down. Like, that it was our sacred college. They owed us air conditioning. Fuck you.
For the record, I think it's dangerous, but if I'm wrong, I apologize. I know it's one of our audience. I stole one of your lines today and said to Ted Lieu, you can't spell Lou without lie, just for the record. I want to give as much credit as I can. Okay, so I want to talk about that space they had with Tucker Carlson, because the names that are in this, man, Tucker Carlson was in there, and the Tate brothers were in there. It was run by Mario Nawfal, that piece of human garbage. And it was funny to me because this whole thing is about, Tucker, and he's discussing his life, anything that they wanted to ask him. And the one thing that I didn't hear ask, and I did get bored and eventually turned it off, was, hey, why'd you get so much stuff wrong when you were interviewing the Tates? But it was funny to me because Mario Nawfal, they just kept bringing up the Tate brothers, even though there was no reason to be.
That's weird.
Yeah, there's this push on Twitter right now to turn the Tates into these oppressed people who've been wrongfully done. And it's amazing to me watching the number of people lining up to be on their side. I just want to repeat to everybody, and you can still find it all over online. These men have admitted to what they did. They haven't done so in court, but they openly and publicly admitted to everything they've been accused of. Except for the rape. I don't think they've admitted to that part yet. The rape that Tucker's like, they didn't even accuse you guys of rape. Yeah, they did. That's part of the indictment. But like, why are you guys talking to Tucker Carlson and bringing up the Tates? Unless it's to be like, hey, Tucker, why did you get this story so wrong?
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. They're hot this summer because of the HVAC issue and cold in the winter because they don't trust their blankets anymore. That's probably fair. Although that was the British.
Oh, yeah, we need to bring this one up too real fast. Andre Braugher, is that how you say his name? I think it's how you say his last name. Passed away.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this man. This is one of the most intense actors I've ever seen. This man give you a dirty look and he'll make you poop. He had one of the most expressive faces and stuff, and commanding presences on the screen. And he passed away at the age of 61.
What did he die of?
Last I saw, all they had said was a short illness.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Was it the coof or the vaccine?
First saw him in Glory. Yeah. Probably where I first saw him too.
I first saw him on Homicide: Life on the Streets, and I hated him. I thought he was such an obnoxious dickbag on there. But I saw him in other stuff later, especially like Brooklyn 999 or whatever it was.
99. I love Brooklyn 99.
Yeah. He was good on that show. And I saw him in other stuff like Glory. And he is a solid actor. I just didn't like his portrayal on Homicide. I thought he was unlikable.
Wasn't he supposed to be unlikable?
Probably. But like I said, you just first impressions you get of people sometimes. It's like,
Fair.
Man, this guy's probably an asshole in real life too.
No, I loved him in Glory. And what I really like is somebody who, if you've never seen Glory, watch it. His performance is amazing in there.
Yeah.
As everybody's is in that fucking movie. God damn.
Faithless Mention Frequency. I like that movie too.
Well, you take him from Glory and then you put him in something like Brooklyn 99 and he pulls it off. Well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's difficult. Comedy is hard.
Yeah.
But somebody like him and Terry Crews, they made that show.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I love the show. I haven't seen any of the later seasons. My son was a huge fan. I used to watch it with him when he stayed with us. And his present, the way he plays the straight man is fucking amazing. And it's another one of those where thanks for the memory, sir. I hope it was not too horrible. I really do.
Yeah.
Okay, probably my favorite story of the day, Jack. Former Facebook diversity manager Barbara Furlow Smiles, who headed Facebook's diversity, equity, and inclusion program, has pled guilty to kickback scheme where she raked in $4 million.
Wow.
Whoopsie. Let's bring her cute little ass up on the screen. What she was doing, Jack, is she was hiring family members to do stuff for the company that didn't actually get done, and they would give her the money.
Wow.
Yeah.
They didn't even keep the money?
No. Well, maybe they got a cut.
That's not even a good scam. Because somebody's going to be bitter they didn't get enough cash. They'll rat you out. They're going to flip.
$4 million. They're gonna look into where that money's going.
Yeah, that's enough money to be interesting.
But what really jumped out to me is that people are like, oh my God, fraud? She works in DEI. DEI itself is a fraud? Yeah. Why are you shocked? DEI has convinced people to hire folks to tell them how much they suck. Because there's white people. They are. Yeah. White people exist. You suck. Yeah, she's fraudulent. Really?
I know I'm shocked.
Oh, man. My second favorite story of the day. This one actually pissed me off a little bit. Oh, fuck. It's on the New York Post. We'll just look at her picture and I'll tell you what the story says. I'll throw the link in the chat. You guys can read it and, like Monkey's telling the truth again. But this is a lady who has said that feminism had deceived, it betrayed her. It betrayed her, you see, because at the ripe young age of 38 years old, she realized maybe being a party girl wasn't very fulfilling.
What?
She all her life was like, I don't, well, not all her life. She was married. She was married for 10 years to a guy in a small town who dared ask her to make dinner when he came home from work.
Oh, she's too good for that.
And she even says in here she thinks she was too harsh on that guy and that he was probably a really loving, nice guy. But she needed to get out and spread her wings, so that's what she did. She went out and spread her wings and her legs. And now she's 38 years old and woke up and that biological clock was just a ticking. Tick, 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 tick. But there's a bright side. And this is the part that pissed me off, Jack.
Does it involve the cock carousel?
No, it involves a really pathetic man.
Of course it does.
It says there's a good part because she has found a man. She's found love. And here's how she found love, Jack. A year ago, she went on a date with a guy who she didn't like and said, we should just be friends. And after banging people for another year and hearing her biological clock ticking so loudly in her ears, she went, well, he's stuck around. I'm a hook up with him. So now they're a couple.
That is literally the Kevin Samuels example of, hey, big head.
Yeah. She treats this dude like dirt and puts him in the friend box. And then she's like, I've had all these wonderful dates since then. And then I realized that's not how you actually find love. You find love when you're down to your last 12 ovaries.
Yeah, and they're all blue.
Or ovum, right? It's just the one. And when all you have left is blue gumballs. And this poor bastard, who's probably been simping for this bitch for a year, watching her take somebody else's wiener over and over again, and just playing the friend thing, he's like, oh, you'll take me now? It's like that dumbass song, The Next to Be With You. Who sang that? I forget the name of it. I'm
Mr.
the
Big.
one who wants to be with you.
Yeah, it's Mr. Big.
That song is so it's literally this story. Some dude hanging out with a chick like, when you're done boning all those other guys, can I have a turn? And that's what this is. And this poor bastard is like, yeah, I'll take you. Dumbass.
Sad.
I hope that you're as white as she is, and when the baby comes out, it's black. Because that's what you deserve. You deserve to be. She cheated on you. Proof positive. Yeah. But he's so dumb, he'll probably be like, maybe somebody in my family was once black. Snubber, thank you. Speaking of feminists, Omegon did a long video about the demise of feminist frequency. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I have not seen that. But yeah, that story pissed me off, Jack. Like, there's a positive to this. I mean, for her, I guess she gets her simp boy. He got screwed.
Shocker.
I want to talk to that man. I really do. And be like, homie. You wouldn't even have to downgrade to get a chick who looks like her and isn't a whore. You wouldn't even have to be like, oh, she needs to have a tooth coming out of her eyeball kind of ugly. Just be like, go grab a random chick who's not a dirty whore who put you off for so long as she was out there smoking other pole. And ladies, same for you. Don't sit there waiting for some dude who's out there banging a bunch of nasty whores and be like, maybe one day he'll love me like he loves them. One, you don't want him to love you like he loves them because he doesn't. They're a hole. That's the truth.
Yeah.
People, men and women, have more fucking respect for yourself.
Real quick. Thank you, Circus Zero, who says her story is the anti-Hallmark movie.
No, it's the exact Hallmark movie. Because that's what happens all the time in these kind of things. Unless it's the one where they move into a new town at Christmas time.
Yeah. And it happens to be like Santa Claus's home.
Yeah.
Or they haven't had Christmas because of some sad thing. And now they got the Christmas spirit again.
Yeah. Fuck that dirty whore. I hope she does die lonely. That's not nice.
Can I point out my the things I found enraging today?
Let me get one more thing because it's related to one we just talked about.
Oh, okay.
And I meant to get it at the same time, but I forgot. This was shared by a liberal who was pissed off. The University of Oklahoma, Office of the President, December 13th, 2023. Dear OU community, today Oklahoma's governor signed an executive order eliminating offices of DEI at all public higher education institutions in Oklahoma, including our own. Told you guys this stuff is coming to an end. That doesn't mean it's not going to come back in some other form because DEI is not even the first way we've seen DEI.
Yeah.
They just finally gave it a name. They got dumbass people be like, yeah, you gotta give us that so you don't call us racist. All right, what you got, my friend?
All right. I was going to say that the audit that the LAPD's use of helicopters causes significant harm to the community was enraging. But the ghetto birds are not even hitting the mark today. We'll save that one for tomorrow because it did piss me off. But did you hear about the Boston mayor's plan for a no whites allowed Christmas party?
No.
Yeah. So Michelle Wu, the Boston mayor, is not dreaming of a white Christmas. Gotta love the New York Post. So she specifically was holding this for electeds of color, but it was mistakenly sent to by an aide to all members of the Boston City Council. This was supposed to be a secret party for people of color.
Wait, they had a secret racist party. Were they going to be wearing white robes?
No, they were going to be wearing robes of color, Monkey. This is for the people of color, not for the cracker lacking party.
Wait. She's been mayor for a couple of years now, right?
I believe so.
Has anybody looked in to see if she did this last year?
As far as I could tell, no.
All right. Well, look, we know she's a little racist shithead, but even that, good God.
Yeah, the mayor's director of city council relations sent an email blast out saying, I wanted to apologize for my previous email regarding a holiday party for tomorrow because the whites weren't supposed to get the invite.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are 6 minority and 7 white members on the city council. So this was just a party for the secret 6.
Always check your CC, right?
Yeah. Always pay attention to what you do and double check everything. Of course, Libs of TikTok picked up on this, and so did the Boston Herald. So that got it put on blast, and it's been a shit show ever since. But it really hasn't hit too much of the mainstream media, just a few of the more conservative outlets. Yeah.
It won't because it's being racist to white people, so there's no problem with that.
Yeah. So that's a thing that happened out there.
Can I just throw this out there? Racism, it doesn't matter who it's against, is never good.
No,
hating somebody based on immutable characteristics is fucking retarded. And it's not something that should be encouraged or happening in our government at all. Jack, I got to step away for 1 second. Go ahead with what you were going to say.
Oh, yeah. I'm dropping the link if you guys want to see it. Mistakenly, I was like, I'm not paid enough for this shit. Pretty much, Brand. I think that's exactly what happened. Either that or generalized incompetence. You never can tell anymore. But I'm surprised people put up with this shit. Really am. Although that chick is pretty hot. She does have that like saucy Asian look, so it's a real shame. So the other thing that pissed me off was the LAPD police chief said the department is leading the nationwide movement to arm DACA police officers. Yes, that's right. The children of illegal immigrants who are also illegals are going to get guns because they can be cops now in LA. So on Tuesday, the Los Angeles Board of Police Commissioners unanimously approved the outline of a policy that would allow deferred action for childhood arrivals recipients the capacity to carry a firearm off the job, which has been largely prohibited by law because DACA recipients are not U.S. citizens. So they're changing that so these people can walk around with their guns. It's bad enough they let them be cops, but now they get to walk around with guns whenever they want. So how could that backfire at all? We've worked closely with the Department of Justice at the state and federal level to express the fact that we desire to form a model policy that we think meets this movement and this is the state of the law and provisions of immigration policy in the United States, Moore said. And this is Police Chief Michael Moore. Not the fat movie guy. Different Michael Moore. Different piece of shit.
There's so many. Don't name your child Michael Moore.
Yeah. So, yeah, the DACA kids are going to get guns and be cops now. So, there won't be any more gotaways, I'm sure. Nothing to see here.
Well, I mean, at this point, does it even matter? It's not like you have any liberal out there. I mean, we actually had put out there like, hey, tell people that they're coming to do ICE stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's just it's disgusting how these criminals are getting all these rights and all these privileges and all this special treatment. At what point do American citizens wake up and say, "Hey, we're second-class citizens in our own country"? Because that's the reality of it.
Keldrick, thank you. Michael Moore, sounds like we need Michael less. Well played. Real quick, I don't know if you had anything else. I want to watch something before we move on, though.
Oh yeah. I'm just wanted to bitch about those two things.
Oh no, that's cool. That's cool.
Hey all, George Santos here. My subscriptions are now open on X. Don't miss out on the piping hot tea for just $7 a month. You're going to go nuts with what's coming your way. Hey, Congress people, beware. Hell have no fury like a scorned. Bye.
I'm gonna miss this man when he goes to prison.
I know, he is so fucking hilarious.
Oh fuck. For those of you who don't know who George Santos is, he's the one we talked about many times, the congressman who was recently kicked out of Congress.
For being too hilarious.
Sounds like a threat. Oh, he's absolutely threatening. He's threatening to spill all the tea about what's been going on in Congress behind the scenes that you and I don't get to see. I doubt much is actually going to be there, honestly, because these are boring fucking people, and the kind of stuff that we'd need or actually want to know about, he's not going to have. He'll be like, AOC's a bitch. Did you all know that? Yeah, we got it.
Now, I want to know who eats with their hands, like scooping shit out, and who has the stankiest farts. You know, spill the real tea that we care about.
Hang on, baby. 1 second, bud.
Uh-oh. Something interesting is happening.
When I stepped out a moment ago, the kitten came in here with me. She's having a rough time of it because with my COVID, Lady Monkey's sleeping in her office upstairs.
Oh yeah.
I'm quarantined to the basement like Chris Cuomo, for fuck's sake. But she spends every night in bed with Lady Monkey, and Lady Monkey hasn't been in there, and she sleeps with her office door closed because of all of the office equipment in there. And so Phoebe's had a rough time of it. She's been coming in here and hanging out with me at night, and she gets bored very quickly in here. Usually not this quickly, though. So she just wanted let back out of the room. So I had to let her out. I'm not going to make my kitten suffer. But speaking of suffering, this is like almost hour 4 for me. I'm going to wrap up here. Did you have anything else you wanted to hit on before we do?
No, I think we've hit the majority of stuff.
All right. Yeah, lungs are doing a little bit. My fucking headaches I keep getting from this, man. I can live with most of the headaches. Have got to go. Because it's not like a normal headache. It's like somebody just stabbing you with a fucking pickaxe. It sucks.
Yeah, it's like a pseudo migraine.
And I'm going to take off headphones because those don't help. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to hit up our stores and stuff. There's still time to get presents for your friends, your family, that bitch you hate, and pick up something nice for yourself or them on our Teespring stores listed below. Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I'll drop a link to a video. As always, thank you so much for all the support you guys give us. You guys are awesome, and we appreciate it.
Oh,
so, thanks for the tips.
Indeed. Shio says, sorry again, Monk, feel better. I appreciate that. And I meant to mention, apparently Abby and Brittany are getting married or got married to
each other?
To a guy.
One guy?
I did not dig into the article. I saw the picture. There was only one guy.
Now he's getting nagged in stereo.
Right. I just have always wondered because they had separate boyfriends. Okay, somebody said, who's that? God damn it. CCO, this is why I said, why would you do this to me? Abby and Brittany are conjoined twins. They're Siamese twins. They share a torso, but have separate heads.
Well, they share everything from the neck down.
From the neck down. Yeah.
Can't one of them control one arm and the other controls the other arm or something?
Something like that. Yeah. But it's another one of those cases where I've always had questions because these girls dated separate guys.
Well, they have different mouths.
Yeah, but okay. See,
do they have separate driver's licenses, do you think?
What happened? I don't think can they drive?
I don't know. What if one of them fails the driver's exam? Can the other one take it?
But like they both have the connections to everything. So like if one has a boyfriend and the other one has a different boyfriend, when they hump one of the boyfriends, the other one still feels it.
I don't know. Like Shio brings up, what if one of them takes it in the pooper and they only feel that?
No, because underneath the nervous system is all connected.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whose baby would they have?
What happens with a BJ, right? Like he's sitting there in a chair and she's on the knees beforehand or in front of him. Sorry, not before him on her knees. And one head is bobbing on the knob and the other head's just bobbing on nothing.
No. See, you get her on her side and then one of them can suck your balls while the other one's working the shaft.
No, but see, I'm trying to make it so that that they're not cheating on their significant other. You know what I mean?
Oh, maybe the guys just get blowjobs at the same time.
But even then they're both like...
They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very complicated and it brings up a lot of questions. So, I mean, I just don't know because they do have different minds or different brains. Maybe they have different souls. I don't know how that works logistically. It's not really covered in any biblical text that I've seen. But there's a lot of questions to be had here.
What if one of them's like really, really horny and has a boyfriend and wants to have some humping, and the other one doesn't want to be humped? Do they have like a timeshare on their cooter?
Maybe. Like one of them could actually have a headache and the other one doesn't.
Evolve says, what if one was a lesbian? Yeah, that would have made it even more interesting.
Yeah.
I have so many questions about things like this, and they're nonsensical questions because it's just the way my mind works and everything. But things like this keep me up at night. Like what if one was racist? That's a great question. One's racist and the other one's married to a black guy. They're in the same body.
If one swallows and the other one doesn't, they still have to taste it.
Wouldn't it be great if they do, one controls a hand and the other controls the other hand, and the one is with a guy who's like, I don't like ass play, and the other one's reaching around grabbing his ass, tickling his booty hole.
We did go down the dark side on this one. Real quick though, thank you, Keldrick. Maybe they have a husband with two dicks.
This is the nicest I've ever been about the question of Abby and Brittany. So we are going to wrap up there. And damn you, Shio, it's going to be in my head all night.
Hang on. Thank you, Frosted Glass. So whoever the boyfriend is, I guess you could say he's seeing another chick on the side.
Sometimes he is.
Mostly out of his peripheral vision.
Well, if they're doing it like missionary, right? Does he put his head between theirs, or does he like move way off to the side of his girlfriend?
What if he's a midget?
They're not. I've seen them. They haven't been with midgets, although that could be interesting.
Well, if he's banging up doggy, whose hair does he pull?
If they're doing it 69,
like banging Cerberus.
69, one of them just has their face in a thigh.
No, they switch off. I don't know.
It's so weird.
What if one of them likes his cunnilingus skills and the other one doesn't? I have so many questions.
Yeah, what if one of them likes really hard nipple play and the other one that's too sensitive to take? You know what I mean? There's so many things that could be just explored on this. Maybe we'll just do a whole
the dude's
weird
always
stories.
getting a three-way.
weird stories that have bothered Monkey over the years kind of show. We'll do this and the two butthole lady.
Yeah.
But for tonight, that's the end of it. So, guys, thanks for joining us. And for those of you who are smart enough not to leave before the end of the show, there's some Abby and Brittany for you. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everybody, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody. Rest in pebbles.
We don't touch the monkey butt. Tell your hoary sister I'm gonna splooge in her eye.